Super excited for this one today. We have got the new Land Rover Series 2 from FMS. This thing is jam-packed with scale details. Looks absolutely awesome. You can get it in 3 different colours. I've gone for the green. Let's take a look and see what we get in the box, and then we'll jump into the details and take a really good look at this thing because it just looks really, really cool. Comes in this really nice styrofoam box. Keeps everything nice and safe. Really cool. You just pop it open, and then you can see everything you get in the box. So let's just have a quick look and just see what we got in there, and then we'll jump into some more detail. So you get the actual Land Rover itself. Really liking that green colour. Looks really, really nice. Like I said, we'll take a closer look at all the scale details in a minute, but that looks fantastic. You get your windscreen, so you can stick that on. You can have it off or on, and you can put it down and so on. So that's really cool. You get a couple of different options on how you want to run the roof. So you've got one roof option there. Then you get your other roof piece, so that if you wanted to run it in like a pickup style. You get a long screwdriver. You need that to be able to get the screws in for the different roof options. You get your 4-channel FMS transmitter. The scale details on this thing are amazing. You got that lovely looking Series 2 front grille. Your doors actually open as well. You've got a beautiful scale interior there, which just looks absolutely stunning. Got all your gear levers in there, you've got your gauges, you've got your glove box, your steering wheel, you even got door handles. Seats are actually fabric seats, actual cloth seats, which is just really, really crazy. They're soft, they're actual as if it's an actual real seat, which is just mad. You've got your rear bed, actually opens as well, so you can just pop that down, so obviously you can get like cargo and stuff and like that in there. It's an officially licensed body, so you got your Land Rover badges on there. You've got mud flaps on the rear as well. Your bonnet actually opens as well, and that's where all your electronics are. So an all-in-one ESC receiver, and then you've also got your 380 milliamp hour battery in there, 2S Lipo. FMS have gone to town on the actual scaleness of this thing. It just looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. I can't wait to see what it's like out on the trails because it just looks stunning. You've got these white plastic kind of, scale looking wheels and these kind of scalar tyres, which, they're fairly soft, they're squishy. Underneath you've got a metal chassis, you've got 4-wheel drive, leaf springs. It's actually got a 2-speed gearbox in it like the FCX24. It's either got a 130 or a 180 size motor. The manual says it's a 130, but some of the information online says it's a 180, so not quite sure which one it is. It's actually got 3 servos. You've got one for your gear change, you've got one for your steering, and then you've actually got a mini servo that actually controls the wheel. So when you actually steer, the wheel actually turns as well, which is just really, really cool. Another awesome kind of scale detail. Suspension wise, like I said, it's got leaf springs. I think they're a bit too hard, to be honest. I mean, if you look at that suspension movement, you haven't got a lot of movement there at all. So it's a shame, really. I think if it had some softer leaf springs on there so you could get more of that kind of scale movement, that would be awesome. One thing to note with your transmitter is you've got these different selections here for how you want to run the ESC. So the far left, number 1, is actually whether you want forward brake reverse or forward reverse. Now, as default, with it down, it comes forward brake reverse. So I'm actually going to pop that up because I would rather it be forward reverse. Number 2 is whether you're running a Lipo or a nickel hydride battery. And then 3 and 4 is so you can control your drag brake setting. So basically in the stock form that it comes in, it's a 0% drag brake. And you've got 3 different options for 50%, 75% or 100%. So I think I'm going to go for 75%, which is basically 3 up and 4 down. So we'll try it in 75%, but we might jump it up to 100%. To change gear, basically you've got channel 3 on the transmitter here. So all the way back is 2nd gear, in the middle is neutral, and forwards is 1st gear. Okay, and then for your lights, you're going to go channel 4. So basically you can just cycle through them. So single press is just going to do your front lights and your tail lights. Press it again, they're going to go brighter. Press it again, you're going to get hazards and your headlights. And then if you press it again, you just get your headlights. You do have tail lights as well. So as you cycle through, you can see you've got tail lights. You've also got indicators on the front. So they're actually orange indicators. Might not be showing up on camera, but they are actually orange indicators. And if you do run it in forward brake reverse, then you do have brake lights on the back as well. So yeah, so loads of lights. So that's really cool. You can see that steering servo as we turn, the wheel is moving as well. Just how cool is that? That's just really, really cool. I love that little detail. So you get your little screws in the bag for attaching your roof. So I'm going to put the roof on there, I'm going to put the windscreen on there, and then let's get it out on the trail and see what it's like. Okay, we are outside with the Series 2 Land Rover. I'm loving that paint colour in the daylight. Looks really, really cool. It's one awesome looking scale RC. You know, you can't fault the scale details. They are absolutely awesome. So first of all, let's just see what the kind of slow speed control is like, and then we'll do full throttling first, and then we'll do full throttling second. So you can see full throttle in first gear is, you know, it is slower than like the FCX24. Obviously, you know, it's a bit heavier and everything, but yeah, let's try second gear, full throttle, and see what it's like in second. That's not bad. Again, you know, it's still slower than like the FCX24, but only about a little bit, I would say. And you know, there's plenty of speed if you're going along on a trail pretty quickly in second gear. You know, it's not bad at all. Now, I wasn't very impressed with the stock suspension when I was just trying on the bench, so I actually made a couple of modifications last night before taking it for its first run. So basically what I've done is I've just dropped it down to one single leaf spring because it was just way too stiff with all of those leaf springs on there. So it probably is going to be a bit bouncy now, but you know, hoping in like some slow-mos and scale kind of stuff, it'll look pretty cool. Now, the other thing I've done is the actual hinge pieces here that the leaf springs attached to, they were really, really stiff. Like really tight, and there wasn't really any movement, so of course the leaf spring couldn't really move up and down. You know, the whole point is that hinge piece is meant to move back and forth when the suspension obviously unloads and loads. So what I basically did is I just shaved the plastic down a little bit and just loosened off the screws slightly so that it actually has some movement. Now you can see, you know, it has a bit of movement. It's hard to see by here, but before, you know, they would just hardly not move at all, especially on the rear. On the rear, they were completely solid. They just wouldn't move at all. Whereas now, you can see I can just gently push it up and down. So I'm hoping that's going to give us some slightly better suspension movement. But anyway, just wanted to point that out just in case you think, hang on a minute, it looks slightly different to other people's ones. It's just because I've just done that little modification. Let's just test out those scalar tyres on just some loose dirt and a slight incline. Just see how they perform, see if they get some good grip. You know, not bad. You can see they're not like the best grip in the world, but you know, not bad. Let's try a couple more obstacles. Okay, we've got another kind of more scale little challenge here, just up this tiny little incline with some rocks and so on. Well, say rocks, like, you know, little stones. But let's give that a try. That wasn't bad, to be fair, considering like how low it is to the ground as well. You know, managed to get up the little obstacles, and you know, ground clearance obviously isn't the best on this thing, as you can see. You know, as it's like super scale, so you know you are going to get hung up on some things. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. You can see those ground clearance issues there. Look, body's got hung up. Obviously you don't have a lot of ground clearance. So yeah, we're kind of a bit stuck on that logbook there. Yeah, that's going to be its main downfall, I would say. Obviously, you know, it's super scale, so it's more of a super scale trail rig than it is like, you know, a crawler, I would say. That you know, it's a scale trail truck, isn't it, really? But yeah, you can see that's one of its major downfalls, is this getting hung up on obstacles. Definitely a fantastic looking scale. I love all the scale details. I would say, you know, it's a scale trail truck, but obviously taking on any like major obstacles or anything like that, you know, it is going to struggle. You know, it is super scale. It's got really low ground clearance. The tyres aren't bad, to be fair. You know, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. You know, they did a pretty decent job, but it's the ground clearance that gives you the biggest issue. But, you know, I would say if you're looking for something just to have something that's super scale, then, you know, definitely consider it. The slow speed control's good, 2 speed's really nice. The suspension definitely could be better. Obviously it's a little bit better, I think, with the little mods that I've made. You know, let me know in the comments what you think from the running footage. But it's a shame the suspension isn't more scale. I think, to be honest, the leaf springs are too spread apart. They need to be closer together so it actually creates that movement, as in like the end points closer together. But yeah, that's the one thing that's kind of let it down for me, is the suspension. You know, with something so scale, it would be awesome if it had super scale suspension movement as well, and then it would be like really, really scale. You know, you are getting a really nice scale trail truck with a 2-speed, with a lovely hard body, you know, massive amounts of detail. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It performed better than I thought it was going to do, to be fair. Massive shout out to FMS for sending me this one to review. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.